Bello Turji, who has been on the radar of the Nigerian Army for so long, he has been on the wanted list. The Nigerian Army has tried all they could to capture this terrorist who has been terrorizing communities in the northern part of the country. This same guy, this same young man who is barely in his 30s, is the same person who asked the community to pay for his cows killed by the Nigerian Army, and an individual then needed to pay 10,000 naira each, so that it would not wreak havoc in their community. Imagine. But anyway, we are here today because the Nigerian Army, though they were unable to capture him, but the report says that the Nigerian Army were successful at killing his child. Before we delve right into the details of today's news, if this is your first time here or you have not subscribed to this channel, what are you doing? What are you even doing on YouTube if you're not subscribed to Newsroom Nigeria? Please, this is where you need to be. Let's share opinions and ideas in the comment section. Also, give this video a massive thumbs up. That way, YouTube is able to recommend it to other YouTube viewers all around the world. Troops of the Nigerian Army have killed a son of Bello Turji, a notorious bandit terrorist and leader, in a string of attacks on hideouts in Zamfara. According to Zangazola Makama, a counterinsurgency publication focused on the Lake Chad region, the operation was carried out by officers of Operation Fansa Yama. The publication said the strikes were a combination of ground and air attacks, which dismantled key hideouts in Faka, a stronghold where Tunji and his associates have long operated in the Shinkafi local government area of Zamfara state. Intelligence sources confirmed to Zangazola Makama that Tunji lost family members and high-ranking lieutenants in the strikes, and he could be heard over the radio, panicking for support from 7 other bandit leaders. We killed his son and many of his fighters during the operation. I also listened to Tunji's panicked voice calling for reinforcement from 7 other bandit leaders. None of them showed up, and one of his spies narrowly escaped from us today, one of the sources said. Among the camps targeted were Zangon, Dangwadi, Zangon Shaka, Zangon Kagara, and a school reportedly used by Tunji to store foodstuffs and weapons. The military burned the school to prevent it from serving as a supply base for Tunji's network. The operation was led by special forces with support from General Officer Commanding GOC. The special forces are supplemented by personnel from the Navy's Special Boat Service, SBS, provided by the Theater Command. Zagazola Makama added that intelligence noted that Tunji was last sighted at Zangon Gebe, surrounded by his heavily armed fighters. The military has declared Tunji a dead man walking, and troops promised to eliminate him and end his operations in Zamfara, Sokoto, and Niger states. You all, let's have your thoughts and opinions in the comments section. Could the killing of Bello Turji's son be a consolation to those people who have suffered under Bello Turji's regime in Zamfara, Sokoto, and Niger State? Let me know in the comment section what you all think. Before we go, let's take a look at some of the reactions we got online. The first comment is from John Alex Obi, says, what about the army personnel and peoples he had been murdered? If only he can bring them alive, he will only be forgiven. I don't understand this comment too, but anyway, moving on. God Help says, why burning a whole or complete school? Is that not creating problem while solving a problem? What's the problem the school burning is creating? It's like this young man do not understand. This community, there are no people in the community. People have deserted the community, a whole local government in the north. So people have deserted it. Nobody's going to the school. at least for now, until the insecurity and bandits, kidnapping, terrorist problem is solved. Is one problem, is you have to solve it one problem at a time. That is just it. The school is not even useful at this point because of terrorists. Do you think that those people, the terrorists storing food in the school, do you think people will still be going to the school while terrorists are using the school as their storage ground? Anyway, I just want to commend the effort of these military men, because they are trying. Some of them have lost their lives in the process of fighting against terrorists. Since this terrorist activity started, they have lost their lives. Some people have not even seen their families for years, for months. So we should give them their flowers once in a while. Johnson Ominigbo says, Nigerian Army should finish them without listening to politicians' directives or rehabilitation program for useless terrorists. I think which is why this Nigerian Army, instead of capturing them alive or taking them to court, have you heard any terrorists being taken to court? Instead of, capturing them alive and taking them to court, they would rather kill them, kill them on sight, because it's a wasted effort. How will you say that you are rehabilitating terrorists? You want to wash their brain or what? You want to use chemical to wash it? I don't understand. How do you rehabilitate terrorists who have killed thousands upon thousands of, innocent citizens? You now God forbid. Imagine you see somebody that somebody who killed your father, somebody who killed your mother. In the next how many years, enjoying, flying around, gallivanting, enjoying their life because the government decided to rehabilitate them and put them back into the society. What nonsense. I think that is even the main reason why these soldiers, they no longer arrest them or take them alive. Once they see them like this, not to kill, because they themselves, they've killed these soldiers. They don't kill these soldiers, ambush after ambush and all of those. You will now capture one terrorist and the government will now tell you that they want to rehabilitate. I beg, they should continue killing them. Jerry Idakobo says, the military burned the school to prevent it from serving as a supply base for TUNJI's network. Yes. So they won't be there tomorrow and are clearly no longer there, because it seems the Nigerian Army isn't sure they have the capacity to defend that area against a counterattack from the terrorists. Anyway you put it to my brother. Emmanuel says, good one, kill all his family because they are all terrorists. There is no going back, no retreat, no surrender. You can imagine the father is a terrorist. Even the son is now towing the same path that the father took. You can imagine that, which means you keep having more terrorists. Most of it, he will keep training his children in his own line, in his own profession, because I think he now sees it as a profession. You all, let's have your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. Thank you very much for always listening and watching, guys. I will see you all in my next video. Bye for now.